I'm Anthony Smith, and this is Conservative Fodder. Well, we got some kind of interesting stuff today. Apparently, the New York Post ended up publishing a pretty scathing article about Hunter Biden and his involvement with Burisma. Up until this point in time, Joe Biden, has come out and not give any real statement on it besides, the typical, seriously, guys, there's no, his stumbling over stuff when he knows that he's in the wrong. Well, the article, they went and posted up onto Twitter and Facebook, and it got taken down almost immediately. Gee, isn't it odd how these companies are going and defending this presidential candidate? But anyways, I thought I'd go and read out the article and at least put it out to you guys as best I can. So anyways, here it is. This is from the New York Post. So the headline is Smoking Gun Email Reveals How Hunter Biden Introduces Ukraine Businessman to VP Dad. Hunter Biden introduces his father, then Vice President Joe Biden, to a top executive at Ukraine energy firm less than a year before the elder Biden pressured government officials in Ukraine into firing a prosecutor who was investigating the company, according to emails obtained by the Post. Now, if you guys remember that, the whole entire he was bragging about getting that guy fired, and this gentleman got fired because he was investigating what was going on to all the top and board of the energy company. Hunter Biden being one of them. I mean, it was Burisma was under pretty serious investigation, and then VP Biden got a public official in a different country fired by withholding funds that the U.S. government was going to go pass off to him. Anyways, continuing on. The never-before-revealed meeting is mentioned in a message of appreciation that Vadim Pozharsky, wow, heck of a name, and an advisor to the board of Burisma allegedly sent Hunter Biden on April 17, 2015, about a year after Hunter joined the Burisma board at a reported salary up to $50,000 a month. That's a pretty good salary if you can get it. Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving me the opportunity to meet your father and spent some time together. It's really an honor and pleasure, the email reads. An earlier email from May 2014 also shows Pozharsky reported Burisma's number 3 executive asking Hunter for advice on how he could use, in quotes, advice on how you could use your influence on the company's behalf, assumably talking about his dad. The Blockbuster correspondent, which flies in the face of Joe Biden's claim that he's never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings, is contained in a massive trove of data recovered from a laptop computer. Now, let us not forget that Hunter Biden has had his own issues with drug use. I mean, and that's not Biden's fault. I mean, that's not Joe Biden's fault. I mean, everybody's got one in the family, and apparently he's his now, but not everybody has the influence that Joe Biden does in order to keep his son employed and receiving quite a bit of money. The computer was dropped off at a repair shop in Biden's home state of Delaware in April 2019, according to the store owner. Other materials extracted from the computer include a raunchy 12-minute video that appears to show Hunter, who's admittedly struggled with addiction problems, smoking crack while engaging in a sex act with an unidentified woman, as well as numerous other sexually explicit images. The customer who brought in the water-damaged MacBook Pro for repair never paid for the services or retrieved it or a hard drive on which its contents were stored, according to the shop owner, who said he tried repeatedly to contact the client. Now, I wonder if he had the ability to contact the client, how is this client unnamed or unknown? Assumedly, you have a slip for it. That phone number has to go somewhere. So somebody has more details than that. But carrying on. The shop owner couldn't positively identify the customer as Hunter Biden, but said the laptop bore a sticker from Bew Biden's Foundation, named after Hunter's late brother and former Delaware Attorney General. Photos of Delaware's federal subpoena given to the Post shows that both the computer and the hard drive were seized by the FBI in December after the shop's owner says he had alerted the feds to their existence. Pretty interesting that the FBI stepped in to go and grab that. Now, keep in mind, all this stuff is these could be really good fakes. I mean, you have to give a little bit of a moment of pause to consider that this could be very well done fakes. But if they are fakes, I mean, somebody put a lot of time to go in and connect all the dots. But before turning over the gear, the shop owner says he made a copy of the hard drive and later gave it to former Mayor Rudy Giuliani, lawyer Robert Costello, Steve Bannon, former advisor to President Trump, told the Post about the existence of the hard drive late in September, and Giuliani provided the Post with a copy of it on Sunday. So why the Trump campaign hasn't been using this, hopefully they're trying to go and make sure the information's good. But there's evidence out there, and you got to remember, this means that Joe Biden was involved directly, and I mean, there's a heck of a conspiracy going on. I mean, do we really want this man to be president? I mean, look what he was doing when he was vice president, and he was the second most powerful man on the planet. Imagine if he was the most. Less than 8 months after Pozharskyi thanked Hunter Biden for the introduction to his dad, the then vice president admittedly pressured Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko and Prime Minister Arnett, these are some names, I'm telling you, into getting rid of the Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin by threatening to withhold $1 billion U.S. loan guaranteed during a December 2015 trip to Kiev. I looked at him and said, "I'm leaving in 6 hours. The prosecutor is not fired. You're not getting the money." Biden infamously bragged to the Council on Foreign Relations in 2018. Well, son of a bitch, he got fired. Shokin has said that at the time of his firing in March 2016, he made specific plans to investigate Burisma, and that including interrogation and other crime investigation procedures in all members of the executive board, including Hunter Biden. Joe Biden has insisted that the U.S. wanted Shokin removed over corruption concerns, which were shared by the European Union. Meanwhile, an email dated May 12, 2014, shortly after Hunter Biden joined the Burisma board, shows Pozharskyi attempting to get him to use his political leverage to help the company. The message had the subject line, "Urgent Issue," and was also sent to Hunter Biden's business partner, Devon Archer, who also sat on the Burisma board at the time. Pozharskyi said that the representatives of the new authority in power tend to quite aggressively approach NZ unofficially in the aim to obtain cash from him. NZ isn't identified in the email, but appeared to be a reference to Burisma founder Mykola Zhirinovsky, whose first name in Ukrainian version of Nicholas. When the alleged shakedown failed, they proceeded with concrete actions in the form of one more pretrial proceedings. Pozharskyi wrote, "We urgently need your advice on how you could use the influence to convey a message, signal, etc. to stop what we consider to be politically motivated actions," he added. Hunter Biden responded by saying he was with Archer in Doha wow, I'm having a heck of a day. And asking for more information about the formal, if any, accusations being made against Burisma, who is ultimately behind these attacks on the company. Who is the current interim government who could put an end to such attacks, he added. The exchange came the same day that Burisma announced it had expanded its board of directors by adding Hunter Biden, who was put in charge of the legal unit and will provide support for the company among international organizations, according to a news release that's since been scrubbed from Burisma's website. So basically, the threat went out, and they asked for help. All of a sudden, he's on the board. Hunter Biden actually joined the board in April 2014, according to multiple reports. His lawyer said last year that Hunter was not a member of the management team, adding at no time was Hunter in charge of the company's legal affairs. But after 4 months after Hunter Biden's correspondence with Pozharskyi, Archer forwarded Hunter Biden an email chain with the subject line, "Tax Raise Impact on Burisma Production," which included Pozharskyi's saying that the Ukrainian cabinet had submitted new tax legislation to the company's parliament. If it enacted, this law would kill the entire private gas production sector in the bud, Pozharskyi wrote. It was September 24, 2014. Email Pozharskyi also said he was going to share this information with the U.S. Embassy here in Kiev, as well as the office of Mr. Amos Hochstein in the States. At the time, Hochstein was the U.S. Department's newly appointed special envoy and coordinator for international energy affairs. In December 2017, the Novgorsk Group, Ukrainian state-owned energy company, announced that Hochstein had joined the company as independent director, but on Monday he announced his resignation. So once again, they picked up another person using political influence. The company has been forced to spend endless amounts of the time combating political pressure and efforts by oligarchs to enrich themselves through questionable transaction, Hochstein wrote in an op-ed published by Kiev Post. In addition to denying that he's spoken to Hunter Biden about his overseas business dealings, Joe Biden has repeatedly denied any conflict of interest or wrongdoing by either of them involving Burisma. Last February, he got testy during an appearance on NBC Today show when co-host Savannah Guthrie questioned whether it was wrong for Hunter to take that position, knowing that it was really because the company wanted access to you. Well, that's not true. You're saying things you do not know what you're talking about, the elder Biden responded. Last December, Joe Biden also lashed out during a Democratic primary town hall event in Iowa where a man accused him of sending Hunter to Ukraine to get a job and work for a gas company. He had no experience with gas or nothing in order to get access. Or nothing, excuse me, in order to get access to the president. You're a damn liar, man. That's not true, and no one has ever said that, Biden fumed. Biden then continued berating the man as he stepped forward, calling the man fat and challenged him to do push-ups together, man. The FBI referred questions about his seizure of the laptop and hard drive to the Delaware U.S. Attorney's Office, where a spokesman said, "My office can neither confirm nor deny the existence of the investigation." Hunter Biden's lawyer refuses to comment on the specifics the specifics, but instead attacked Giuliani. He has been pushing widely discredited conspiracy theories about the Biden family, openly relying on actors tied to the Russian intelligence, the lawyer George R. Myers said of Giuliani. Now, keep in mind, this is the same kind of stuff that they went and said Trump was doing. The reality is this stuff is probably pretty well founded, and it's becoming more and more evident that it's pretty well founded. So, anyways, if all this stuff ends up coming true, it's a pretty scathing issue in regards to Joe Biden. I mean, do we really want somebody in the White House who's using his political power to go and further his family? I mean, this is when we're talking about, needing to drain the swamp. This is exactly what they're talking about, just a pure political corruption. Anyways, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow.